what kind of inputs have we been putting into our machines? We've been putting either numbers or strings, right? However, just today we learned about a third kind of thing, an array. We could put an array in as an input as well. You could put anything in as an input. So let me show you that in action. So I'm going to make a brand new machine called the first machine, which will get the first item. The output will be the first item from an array. Let me show you what I mean. So we're going to accept as an input some kind of, we'll expect an array. So I'll call this variable, I don't know, the input array. And the way I want to use this is that I'm going to throw in, now look at this carefully. You see how I have round parentheses and immediately in that I have square brackets? That's because instead of putting in a number as my input or a string as my input, I'm putting in an array as an input, and an array is depicted using these square brackets. So my input is this array of 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to add some more numbers here. Okay. So I have an array of 7 items. And it's okay that I have the number 1 twice. That's perfectly fine. What I want this machine to do is I want the output to be the first item of the array. So the output that I want from this should be 6, because that's the first item in this array. Yes, this is not the most useful machine, but it's demonstrating how we can use an array. Here the output should be,
output equals first machine 0.
1 second. What do I want the output to be on line 6? 7. Good. So, Ethan, you want to walk us through it?
Yeah, I mean, this is just what I'm guessing. I could be
Yeah.
wrong. So first machine, basically the output, taking what we want from the index thing.
Uh-huh.
So output is equal to first underscore machine 0, since it's the first element of the array.
So what I think you mean, so we're not going to refer to first machine in the first machine, but you want to refer to the
Yes,
input.
sorry, input array, yes,
Yeah.
yes, correct.
And then return output.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I think that would do it. So again, this variable, which I named input array, is a nickname for this array on line 6. And on line 7, it's a nickname for this array. Our output is whatever the first item is in that array, which we use the square bracket 0 to obtain, and then we return the output. It is super crucial to note right here that even though there's a lot of numbers here, I don't have a lot of variables going on over here, right? I don't have input array 1, input array 2, input array 3, and that's because an array is a single thing. It happens to be that the single thing is a list of other things, but an array, a single array, is a single object in Ruby. So therefore, it gets received by this single variable name. Input array is referring to, in the first example, it's referring to this one array, which just happens to be a list of numbers. So when I say input array 0, I am getting the 6, and I'm returning the 6 as the output from this function. Does that make sense? The main thing I'm trying to demonstrate here is working with an array as an input into a function. Once we can do this, we can do many fun things, which many of the exercises we're about to do are actually programming interview questions.